the tradition comes after. And I remember, like, I found that in my own experience too. It's like sometimes I used to find myself going into yoga postures before I even knew what yoga was as a child. It was like the light spontaneously moved me into that posture, or I started to breathe in a particular way, and later realized it was a Kriya yoga. Do you know what I mean? Like, the tradition comes second. It's like the impulse is the natural thing, and then a human being makes a tradition out of it and calls it A Course in Miracles, or calls it yoga. But it's just really, we call Source Temple a yogic response to truth. Just responding to the descent of the light from above. And everyone is individual in the way that they express, the way that light comes through them. What you're feeling is the result of that anchoring above. Yes, we meet above. We don't really meet as body identities. Our minds are joined. Yes. Bodies aren't really joined. And when you're above, then you see that there really was only one idea of bodiness. But you need to be in that place from above first to see that there was only one body as well. That within this frame of reference, bodies don't join. From above, you can see that you were just cells in the one body. So this is the journey home. It's the ascension. And Source Temple is an enactment of the principles of A Course in Miracles. So we come together to practice these ideas, not in a conceptual way, but in a real living embodiment. The way that we live and breathe and move our way through this context that we call Source Temple. It's just another hologram, it's just another dream. But there's a different quality to this dream. Yes? I'm sure you feel it when you step in here. The quality of this place has the tendency towards solution and not problem. We don't reside very long in the conflict. Yes? It's like we're more quick to pray. Let's use the word prayer. Like when you're in the heat of the conflict, the worst thing you can do is react. And really reaction is just your ego mechanism of dealing with it in a past way. And it didn't work then, why is it going to work now? Yes? Like, you don't want to fragment it further. So, we're not going to pretend that conflict doesn't arise as a soul in this world. It's just the way that you approach this, you teach yourself a new way of being. And the words that we use is miracle-minded. You become miracle-minded. You become you have the recognition that behind every seeming problem, there's the immediacy of a miracle behind it. In other words, this is changing all the time. Yes, it's the matrix is reconfiguring, remorphing all the time. Yes? Yes, the solution is present in your mind, standing right next to every problem thought. There's a solution thought. Now the key is, are you accessing the solution? What is the key to accessing the solution that's always present with you? The solution is traveling with you, and I love the way that Jesus describes it as a golden thread through time and space. It's a nice idea, isn't it? How do you access it? Basically, being wrong. You have to be wrong first. Yes?
Yes.
You have to realize that up until now, all your mechanisms have failed. Yes, you have to admit that first, and you've got to stop trying to solve it. Yes? That's really hard for a human being. Because a human being is just like, my God, it's like addicted to trying to solve it with its own past learning. Yeah, I'm going to use this method. If I do this and do this, then it will bring about the desired result. That's not what A Course in Miracles is. Like A Course in Miracles says, the solution is being given presently to you, and it's particular to this instant. Yes? It's being offered to you. Now how can the message be received by you? You have to be wrong. You have to empty your mind of all its past ideas. You have to be a vacuum, an empty space. You need to step back. Yes, these are all ideas from the Course. I step back and let Him lead the way. Now when you really start to embody that idea of being an empty space, you're going to be amazed, because God's voice is literally speaking to you all through the day.
Thank you.
It's telling you how to proceed through this divine Leela, this play of consciousness. And it's particular to this moment, this place. There's no formula, in other words. I'm just showing you really how to navigate your way through this arena that we call a world. How do I approach this? 99% of humanity don't know the rules of the game. Yes. They think they're under the laws of humanity, not realizing that actually you're not bound by those laws at all. You're only bound by the laws of reality. What a relief, huh? You're no longer a victim. This places you in full responsibility for your individual dream and its reconciliation, its healing. And as each seeming conflict is healed, you start to rise up. And as you rise up, it's like you get closer to the source. And as you get closer to the source, the light, as it says in the lesson, starts to bleed through. Yes, just see edges of light around the once familiar objects. And you undergo a physical experience. Yes. That's why we do things like yoga. It helps to integrate the light at a cellular level, because while the body may not be real, you know, Joshua would often say it doesn't get spiritual until it gets physical. Yes, the light has to be filtered down at an atomic level, yes, until the atoms can't contain the light anymore and you explode. Yes. You're artificially keeping this together. Yes, you're artificially keeping the world as a projection in your mind, even though this is just a flat screen image and has really no depth or reality. And it's amazing as you begin to ascend how the experiences that you begin to have, you know, you've read it in all the traditions, in all the books, but when you start to have the experience for yourself, it gets really exciting. It's like, oh my God, I can literally poke my finger right through this. Wow. It's like, I really am not a body. I really am not here at all.